In the videos in the 4-Minute Fix playlist, I've attempted to dive into all sorts of issues we all deal with, make a quick explanation of why and how that issue develops, and even offer a solution or two, and then do it all in under 4 minutes. But many of the topics I've covered have gotten quite a bit of attention, so I'm now making a number of series called the 4-Minute Fix Extended that dig into each issue a bit deeper. In this series, we'll explore more about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Well, actually, a more appropriate name is imposter phenomenon. See, the word syndrome implies that this is a diagnosable disorder, and, well, it's not. It's simply something many of us experience. Now, research suggests that upwards of 30% of all high achievers often suffer from imposter phenomenon, and 70% of us experience it at least once in our lifetime. Wait, 30% of high achievers? Aren't they the ones doing all the moving and shaking? Aren't they the ones we look to for leadership? Aren't they the ones with tons of evidence that proves they're not imposters? Yep, they're the ones. And yet, they still often feel like a fraud. Even Einstein once said he thought his research got way more attention than he thought it deserved. What's really interesting is that those of us who experience imposter phenomenon often perceive that they're the only one who feels this way. They have trouble feeling like they belong to the group the rest of us inhabit. And, of course, if you believe you're the only one, making sure no one else finds out that you're a fraud becomes even more important, which makes you feel even more isolated and like you don't belong. Yikes, that's a vicious little cycle. Now, true imposters, of course, they would never feel this way. True imposters have the confidence, or is it overconfidence, and the bravado that comes from not knowing what you don't know. Our imposter phenomenon friends tend to be pretty well educated, as well as pretty humble. They avoid cheating on exams and plagiarizing, unlike the real imposters, who cheat and plagiarize way more. They like achieving at the highest level, and they like getting things done. But they also shun the arrogance and the self-importance they believe accompany true accomplishment. So, are there any well-known people who incorrectly feel like a fraud? Anybody outed themselves? Well, yes. Here's a short list. Tom Hanks. No matter what we've done, there comes a point where you think, how did I get here? When are they going to discover that I am, in fact, a fraud and take everything away from me? And then there's Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. Who doesn't suffer from imposter syndrome? Even when I sold my business for $66 million, I felt like an absolute fraud. Tina Fey. The beauty of the imposter syndrome is you vacillate between extreme egomania and a complete feeling of, I'm a fraud. Oh God, they're onto me. I'm a fraud. I've just realized that, well, almost everyone is a fraud. So I try not to feel too bad about it. Actress, comedian, and rapper Awkwafina. When you see so many people gunning for the same thing, waiting for their break, despite how talented they are, it really makes you think, why me? Why not this other person when she could have done it better? And then there's the former chairman and CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. Very few people, whether you've been in the job before or not, get into the seat and believe that today they are now qualified to be the CEO. They're not going to tell you that, but it's true. From the comments above, you can see that there are a lot of different stories going on in the heads of those who feel like a fraud. The point of all this, though, is that lots and lots of people suffer from imposter phenomenon. It's a common struggle, so no, you're not alone. In fact, you're in some pretty awesome company. If you'd like a little support in overcoming imposter phenomenon, let's talk. Just contact me by clicking the link in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And in the next video in this series, we'll take a look at some of the telltale signs that commonly accompany imposter phenomenon. Till then, I wish you abundance and joy.